pay for it.
I don't know what we wanted, they just had that door on this side was just like a residential door.
Yep.
And so it's not anything.
Down, that'll make it cheaper.
In my mind, we do,
I think we just need to say.
and I'm saying this just because of what we're trying to create.
Yeah.
We do some type of steel entry door with some type of a smoke glass treatment to give it a little depth and more character,
Okay.
is what I would envision. But, I mean, just a flat panel steel door is probably what used to be there.
We'll go ahead and get
It's
rolling.
all in one place.
Everyone please rise for the pledge and remain standing for the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for such a beautiful day. Just thank you for new beginnings in this spring, and we just thank you for the same God that's numbered the stars and knows them by name. We just thank you that you care enough for us and the details of our lives, that you counted the hairs on our heads, that you captured our tears. You know every detail, and you care and you love. We just thank you for that. Because of that, we know that anything we bring to you in this meeting or from every day that we live in this community, it matters to you. And we thank you for that. And we pray for your guidance. We pray for your wisdom to help us make the very best decisions, not in our own self-interest, but in the best interest of you and the plans that you have for this community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Jan, if you would, roll call vote. Present. That's Brian.
Here.
Adrian Conklin,
Present?
Tim Hyde,
Here.
Peter Freer.
And yeah, Tito has the school function that he's attending. So, consent agenda. I trust you've had a chance to review them, plus you have 2 additional claims that Jan has filled you in on at your workstations or at your post on the bench. So, no questions, I would entertain a motion for approval. Yes, Bob?
I just got one little simple question, it's probably stupid, but the lift station repair, the emergency stop. Now, was that new equipment, or is it,
Rob, do you have insight?
old equipment, or?
That is, did that say Southlift?
It does not, so I didn't know, it says, wastewater treatment plant.
Right.
WWTP. So.
Yeah, it's,
Jan's looking to.
Looks like Shock Me Electric did it.
Yeah.
If that helps clue anything in.
right,
Jan's looking to. Rob, sorry, I just,
yeah.
I just
How
thought
did
that-
the
Not a
TV
good
get up?
thing.
if it was new equipment, I wouldn't think we should have to pay for it.
Yeah. My guess is it's old equipment.
Yeah, that would be my guess too, but I was just curious. This is kind of a stupid question.
$500.
Yeah. Probably for a little.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was shocking?
Yeah, Shock Me.
There you go. Is that it?
Yep.
Is it possible to hold that? And my mind is all on this. Is it
No, you're
possible
good,
to
you're good.
hold it and let me think about this and pay it next time, or is that gonna mess you up?
It won't mess me up. You can pay it next time because all that's due.
Well, here's the problem.
What's that?
Okay,
It was a year ago.
Oh, that's the problem, so it's 180.
This is a problem.
then let's make an amendment to the,
That happens.
So we take that
Hold
one
on.
out.
I even call at the end of the year to
Same.
ask. Yeah.
do you want us to make an amendment to the consent agenda as
Well,
is?
are you saying it shouldn't be paid, or are you saying we need to look
You saying a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. Why don't,
at it? Okay.
if it can be pulled without causing a big
No, it
problem,
can be pulled without causing.
and then we can have a meeting
Okay,
with Jason and Monty and whoever, so.
See, Bob, that wasn't a
Sorry.
dumb question.
No, that was a good question.
So do you wanna make a motion?
I will move to accept the consent agenda with the omission of the lift station bill to Shockney Lake.
We have a first, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Consent agenda approved as presented and amended.
Catch, Bob.
Department reports, I'm gonna start with, we're gonna make a little bit of change in the agenda here. It's on the new business, but we're gonna move it to department reports and start with Rob, because we've got a wastewater plant change order in number 9. So Rob, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Yeah. This is part of the grant side of the project. These are wish list items. Some of this was in the original PVR and had to be removed due to, we were afraid of the cost getting out of control. Jackson came in $1 million cheaper, and it allowed us to have some contingency money to work with. So if you have any questions about any of these things, I can go through them line by line, or if you have any questions, I could try to answer any of those. The big things on here are the skid loader, and then something that's not included in here is the replacement of our non-potable system. That's the water that we reuse from the effluent water leaving the plant. We capture it in a wet well, and then we use that in hydrants throughout the plant to wash tanks and stuff, and it saves, you know, potable water and all that. So that is a little more than what we had anticipated, but it's still within our, well within our means of the project. I talked to Mark Sullivan later this afternoon, and he said that it came in at around very close to $74,000. That's a whole new control cabinet. It is pressure sensors, it's new motors, it's VFDs, and a new tank. So they were able to get away from a 3,000 gallon tank and get it down to a 200 gallon tank by using VFDs. So the VFDs are costly, but the tank we were going to use was $39,000 just for the tank. So Mark thought we should, what we're going to try to do is Mark asked if we, Sullivan the engineer, asked if we could pass this change order not to exceed $315,000, because the official quote for the non-potable is not included in this packet. It wasn't done yet. It's just now getting ready to come in. So if you decide to pass this today, then and give the mayor the authority to sign this when we have the papers, then we can expedite this and get moving on a lot of these things. Now, the state engineer could reject this. He's passed every one that we've had, but this one reaches a little bit beyond. I've tried to get everything out of this project we can because it's grant money, and the state engineer told me, the first state engineer we dealt with, said, I don't want you coming back here asking for more money. So if you need it, let's do it and get this over with. And we don't want to hear back from you. So I've tried to take him up on that. Now we're dealing with a different state engineer because that one left. But there's some pretty critical things in here. Our non-potable system right now, if the state engineer rejects this, we've got to rethink. We might not do this here, but we've got to do something because the tank is it's end of life, and it's in bad shape. So, and it's dangerous. So it could potentially be dangerous. So the skid loader is a real big ask, but we're gonna need to do something there if we don't get this. So, is there any questions about any of this? The drive is destroyed. The drive was bad, and then the amount of cement trucks, that plant has seen more action in the last year and a half than the last 40 years together. And it's not even an exaggeration. I mean, cranes and cement trucks and semis, and it just, the drive wasn't a very good drive to begin with. This is a very, very good drive, and the specs are in there, what we're gonna be doing. I can't remember off the top of my head.
And none of all of the not to exceed 315,000 is all gonna be covered in the grant, correct?
Yes, that
Okay.
won't drive our payment up. We're actually gonna give back a lot of money, even besides this. If we get this, there's still money that's going back. Now, I will say for Division 2, that's the collection system, and I forgot to mention this in Board of Works, we did have money, quite a bit of money left in that Division 2, and we went back. I had coolies come in for like a week and a half, and they did a bunch of investigative work for us. We found a lot more lining that we can do, and manhole castings, like 30 of them. So we're doing stuff in the collection system too, not just this.
Cool.
So, any other questions?
Yeah, I think that was my question. It was like, this change order is, we use the money or we lose it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's cutting into the contingency budget that, you know, we had allotted for the project, and because it came in under budget, we're able to do some of these things that you're wishing for. So that makes a whole lot of sense to move forward with this.
And actually, even beyond that, we use it or we pay for it later out of,
Right, yeah.
out of user fees.
Like
poten-
these
you know,
roofs
potentially
on-
affecting, you know,
These
rates,
roofs
so-
on the Jackson Lift and Grit Building, these are small buildings, but like the Jackson Lift station, that small building has over $100,000 worth of electronic
Yeah.
equipment inside of it. And so it's protecting, that little bit of money is protecting a lot of money inside there. So, nothing super extravagant here.
So I was gonna say, are we still looking to add to this list, or are we
No,
out? at
they're
the point
saying,
where-
they're saying, here, this is our last shot right here.
Okay.
So, I had a list, I had enough to cover everything and beyond. I mean, so, we cut it down
Yeah.
to this, so, to try to be reasonable, and so.
Well, thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here tonight to present this to us.
Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve change order number 9 with the addition of the non-potable system and the caveat not to exceed $315,000.
Perfect. First, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We got Bob.
Yep.
Janet, you would roll call vote?
Brandon Elmore,
Yes.
Bob Leahy,
Yeah.
Ethan Thompson,
Yes.
Tim Heiss.
yes.
Great job, Ron. Thank you.
And that did say not to exceed 350.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
My mind, I'm getting tired.
That's all right.
It's been a long year and a half.
I was gonna say,
So,
you've had a lot of long days.
Thank you.
Well, no, thank you. Really appreciate it. Now, we're moving on to other department reports. From my standpoint, it's unofficial. We've not officially announced it, so I'm gonna officially announce something. We've exceeded our $50,000 goal for the rail tower.
Nice.
We are, if you go into patronicity right now, you'll see only 44,000. We are actually still waiting the 3,000 from the Randolph County Solid Waste Management. That check, once it comes in, and I expect
We
it.
officially got that.
Yes.
Yeah, we did officially
I didn't
get
know
it.
that.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, nice.
We officially received the grant from Randolph County. Yeah, I'm so sorry. This thing comes at us fast and furious because every day I get notifications on my phone of what's coming in and so forth, so I forget who I've told, who I haven't. So my apologies. We have received the $3,000 grant. So, and Nate, thanks for suggesting that we apply for that because it worked out like a charm. And the only one we're waiting on then after that is, and this goes into the category of it just figures, is my donation matched by my company. I've been in communication with them. They said they dispersed it February 16th. I was like, that's not good because we should have had it by now.
Yeah.
So I've already communicated with them again. So we're trying to get electronic transfer or a certified check sent to us. And then that would put us above and beyond the 50 mark. So to everybody watching this right now, for those of you that gave, thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because it's another illustration in this community and in this country of what's possible when people come together. And then number two, for the folks that said it couldn't be done or didn't think it would be done, this is a good reason to have faith, because anything is still possible. And we've already met with Devin of the Wolf Moving Company, and hopefully the owner is coming in, if not this week, for sure next week, and to get more clarification on the moving day. And then I have a meeting, this was just set up about an hour ago. I've got a meeting with K.I.S.S this Friday at 2 o'clock. It's a Microsoft Teams meeting, and we'll be getting the box or all the checklists that need to be taken care of for K.I.S.S. And so it's happening. So again, just good stuff. I was in communication yesterday on the phone a couple different times over the weekend, actually, with our friend from Idaho who's helped me through this process, who used to work on the rail tower. And they have a magazine out there, or the rail enthusiasts have their own magazine, and we're actually going to appear in it, one of the editions. So the Union City Tower, so I'm going to be sending them pictures. So pretty awesome.
Just an FYI, we
Yes.
did also receive a verbal commitment that once it's moved, because we've now hit our target, if we need help doing some landscaping and things like that, we've got a verbal commitment from ECO.
Oh, fantastic.
Rob Lyken's saying he doesn't have.
Fantastic. Oh, that's awesome. What a blessing. What a blessing. And it's just, again, just illustration of how many people people in this room sitting right in front of me. It's been such a godsend to this whole project. Yeah, just so many folks have chipped in and helped in so many different ways. So just really cool. Let me get my date straight. March 20th is the first demo day, volunteer demo day for Vision Corner. We're going to have dumpsters sitting on each side of the building, and we'll be cleaning it out. So just a heads up, you see what's going on there, or wonder what's going on. That's the first step of a lot of stuff happening here in the next couple months with that building. And the paint is, we're in the process of acquiring the paint for it finally.
Is it possible to put that up on the Facebook page to see
the demo day?
Yeah, so more people can.
Yes. We'll
People
put
that
that
don't
and a
watch-
picture of what it looks like. Yeah,
Perfect.
so people are going to get an idea of what, because we are going to follow the Ball State rendering actually.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We were going to go with a different color scheme, but we've had so much rave reviews on the color scheme that Ball State proposed. We're like, let's just run with it.
Cool.
So because it passed the muster with the donors of the paint. That was sent to them in Florida, and they're like, yes, that looks good. So that's what we're going to run with. But yeah, good idea. We'll get that on the Facebook site.
At least this way it'll be getting people that don't have plans, and let's hope for
Yes.
either a rainy day so everybody has to be inside,
Yeah.
or be a gorgeous, wonderful weather day.
Either way, we're going to be in good shape, exactly. Yeah, and not only on March 20th, but 10 to 12. So it's just a 2-hour stint. And if anybody's listening to this and you're thinking about helping, you don't even have to be there the full 2 hours. If you can show up for 25 minutes, that's 25 minutes more worth of work that somebody else doesn't have to do. So everything matters. Moving along, we'll go ahead. Jan, do you have anything?
No.
And we'll start with council. Tim.
I don't have anything.
Nate.
Two things that I don't know if everybody has seen. One is MJ Snack Shop, the snack shop by the park, ice cream. They're open Thursday through Sunday. I can't remember. I think it's 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and the times vary, but I tried it 3 times this week.
Got me beat by one.
Twice in one day too. I was like, man, this is terrible. But it's very good. It's a good place to go, and I'm excited to see they've got a whole 2 whole families working there
That's awesome.
consistently. So if you are looking for a sweet treat, feel free to go out there and try it. They say Wednesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then that ending time varies, I believe, on the weekends. The other thing that I did not realize until last week, and I don't know if I need to put a 21 or older flashing thing on this, the old liquor store across the street from, what's that, Citizens State Bank, that is now open officially. Talked to the lady working there. She's good friends with the owner, and they open, I believe, every day at 11 as well. So that is something that we did not have for a number of years, and not everybody partakes, but it's another way for them to get it out there, because I didn't know until one day I literally walked up, opened the door, I'm like, you are open. Yeah. So that is open.
And I imagine they appreciate the space behind them now.
We're supposed to be getting a call from the owner at the city building. I passed that news along to have a conversation. So, other than that, I mean, there's still places hiring. There's a lot of cool things happening, and we'll get more into that in new business. So
super. Good announcements. Bob.
I just had a question. I guess it's tied in with the railroad tower, but the telephone poles, the telephone lines, because that's going to have to move, right?
I didn't ask.
Yeah, I know. It has been a very frustrating, arduous path and
we
task.
can have a chainsaw day.
Yeah, well,
we can take care of that.
Can't state anything publicly, but yeah, I'll say this much. I've got a spreadsheet where I'm keeping track of every conversation I have, of every work number, and every person's name I talk to for documentation's sake.
Do we want to give that number out to everybody?
Well, in terms of, if they've got the patience to sit on hold for...
we could do it like we had to do with the AEP lights in the public areas a couple years ago.
You know what? I remember that. That worked too. It's not a bad idea.
If nothing by next council, have those numbers.
Yes, I will. That's a great idea. I'll make a note for myself. Yeah, because it's been frustrating. I have literally been sent to at least 6 different people now. And each person at time was supposed to be the person I was supposed to talk to. And it's just, it's maddening. It really is. So, but trust me, they will be down come you know water, high water before our moving day with the tower, because that's not going to hold that up.
Right.
So, yeah, good question.
Good. That's all I have.
So, no, thanks. My blood pressure's higher now, so thanks.
I promise I won't bring anything up.
That's good. Brandon.
So just a couple of things from the Randall County Solid Waste Management Board. So you did make the announcement about the receiving the $3,000 grant. I was able to persuade the board to review the grant ahead of time because we weren't set to actually review applications until May. But given the fact of the patronicity match, I was able to persuade the commissioners and Mayor McCoy to review it ahead of time.
Brandon, that is awesome, because I remember when that come through, I was like, man, that come through fast. I thought it was going to be longer than that. So, yes, thank you. That is tremendous.
I made that compelling argument, and they were very more than apt to review it. So.
That was a very compelling argument you made then. Yeah. Thank you.
And then the other thing was Pollution Solution is actually opening March 13th. They're open Thursdays from 3 to 6 and then Saturdays from 8 to 12 going forward, so until October.
Awesome. All right, and we, I will turn it over. Do you want me to go ahead and turn it over to you now, or you want to wait until?
No, I can do it now.
Okay.
First of all, everybody has signed up for Fire Ops 101, which is this weekend, so please don't forget that.
What's the time again?
Yes.
What I'm going to say is be at the firehouse by 7, and if I hear anything different than that, I'll let you know in the next couple of days. There's actually a meeting going on right now that I got people at, and I'll get all the final details, but it's supposed to start over there at the District 6 Training Center, I believe at 8. So if you come to my station at 7, we'll take you over there unless you just really want to drive. It's a free ride in a fire truck, everybody loves a fire truck. So don't forget that. And then Monty received 1 bid on 518 West Pearl for $500, and Basically, we need you guys to decide what you wanna do for that. I believe that's significantly more
Approve.
than the
Oh.
original bid, so, Monty wasn't able to be here and he wanted me to present that, so.
So this is the one that we had the bid for $25
Yes.
Correct.
previously for, right?
Correct. Yeah, I believe he's had a conversation with her, and she's come back at an addition, or at $500 for the second meeting, so. I think the general consensus is the lot itself is not big enough for an infill property or anything like that. And I believe her willingness to come back at that much higher, I think is showing good faith, and we just need to follow through and put it to bed.
Can one of you put a note to have Monty follow up with the Logan to make sure he gets that seeded this spring? Because I know that was part of the tear down, but the weather was too bad until recently, so.
Yeah, we'll get that taken care of one way or the other.
I move that we approve that.
Yeah.
We have a first, we have a second. Brandon's already shaking his
I'll,
head.
I'll,
Is
I'll
that
second it.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
Get the paperwork drawn up, let's go.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Very good. All right, and anything else?
The only thing else, just so everybody's aware, there is a for sale sign at 120 West Oak, and just for clarification, the tear down order received by the city on the condemnation granted us access to the property or to the structure to tear it down and remove it because it's a safety hazard. It did not gift us the property. So what we have done, I don't know if it's done yet, but we're working on placing a lien for the total cost of the tear down against the property, so if at some point in time it does sell, then theoretically we get our money back.
Yeah, that's, you answered my question that I had on that, was, are we able to place a lien on those properties? So that,
I believe we've initiated that process.
yeah, if we can have, because that's one thing we need to be able to do on properties that we do those demos on is get control, have to be able to control that.
Exactly. All right, well, thank you, Steve. Speaking of attorney, Ryan is at a school matter as well this evening, so we will move along to old business, which is, we have one item, and that's ordinance 2021-04, which is the amending bulk water rate, and this is on the second reading. Do we have any questions that have cropped up since the first reading? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move we approve ordinance 2021-04, amending the bulk water rate on the second reading by title only.
We have a first, we have a second.
I second.
Second by Nate. Jan, if you would, roll call vote.
Brandon Elmore,
Yes.
Bob Leahy.
Yes.
Nathan Conklin.
Yes.
Jim Hines.
Yes.
All right, moving on to new business. We do have a visitor here today. And Mike, if you want from Moats and Associates regarding the Plum Street Housing Development Proposal. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Baroon with Moat and Associates. I am passing out a little information about our company for those of you that do not know us. We've been in Greenville since 1972. Do a lot of work in Ohio and Randolph County, and so as part of that, I've had a couple meetings
Can I
with
snap
the...
another one? We can put one on Tito's. He's not here tonight.
I've had some discussion with Nate and also the administration regarding assisting with the housing development. So attached, like I said, is kind of a little information about our company, what we do, in addition to the proposal that we include, which is basically an hourly proposal. At this point, we still need to clarify exactly what services you're looking for. The discussion has been between the group that we would assist with zoning codes and help adjusting your subdivision regulations and those type of codes, number one. And then number two, we would assist with reviewing plans and working with the developer, between the developer and the city, to work through the development of that tract. Like I said, that's pretty short and sweet, but if you have any questions or want me to go on, I can.
Were you able to get a hold of Dick Moat?
I believe he did part of that work on that other track, but I don't think it had to do with what we were.
Okay. Sorry, I just didn't want to forget that.
Right.
And then that probably leads us right into having a conversation here about Plum Street.
Yeah, basically with Plum Street, what we're looking at, we've got two different developers that have interest in that property. It's the property that the city owns. What we're looking at is you know, obviously you've got infrastructure that's got to be taken care of, so that's a tall order. And so what it forces us to do is have enough homes on the property that it helps pay for the infrastructure, but at the same time, we're also trying to be cognizant as city leaders to make sure we have a neighborhood that is complementary to the surrounding neighborhoods. We don't want to be putting homes on top of each other. So it's a happy medium there. And so you've got that variable, you've got the variable of the types of homes, the cost of the infrastructure, the TIF that we're dealing with, and that we're going through Barnes and Thornburg to help us with that. So there's a lot of moving parts in this, and we felt that with this being our first development as an administration, first major development, we figured it was important to have somebody on tap or on board that is well versed in this area and that can help guide us and make sure we make the best decisions possible for this development and the city. And now when I say best decision possible, we don't know definitively that this is happening, but we're trying everything we can to make it happen because we feel in our heart of hearts that this has to happen. But we've got to make sure we go about the best way.
And Moten Associates is actually going to be a little redundant because the developer is going to have their own engineer, but the engineering firm is going to work in the best interest
their behalf.
of the developer.
Yes.
We
Not
as
on
a
the
city,
cities.
I think we need somebody that's gonna sit at the table, understand the terminology, and
Right.
be able to fill us in on
Good call.
how it all reads. I mean, it may
Right.
be maybe 40 pages and we only understand every other word, so
Right.
this way we can get some direction of somebody that is, we're divided by the state line, but they are licensed in Indiana, and they're 11 miles away, versus a firm out of Indianapolis.
Yep.
They don't do but a Zoom call, and we've got Mike here at 6:30 on a Monday night, making
Yep.
sure that there's a presence for Moten Associates. I think they are representing very well.
It's the only physical presence we've had in this process. And so, yeah, he's been tremendous already. And again, it can't be stated, I mean, it's funny, it's interesting, you look around town, you look at some of the developments we've had, but when was the last time we had one? Okay, and a lot has changed, the game has really changed tremendously. And so, we want to make sure this is something that is a viable entity for this community and something for us to be proud of, and something that's done right, because we want 30 years from now to look back on this and say, man, aren't you glad that we did this? And they did it right. They knew what they were looking forward. And so that's why we're bringing on someone of his nature and his caliber. So what you have in front of you basically is a proposal. As we would proceed, this is what you would be looking at.
And just for clarification, Chad kind of glossed over the top of it, but we have actually had 3 different engineering firms that's had conversation with the group of us.
Yeah.
And none of them have been here, none of them have set foot on the property, none of them have been in the building with us except for Motes. And because of that fact, we're very confident that.
And nor are any of them local.
Correct.
So none of them know Randolph County and Dark County as well as what Mike did.
I did have a question in regards to the quote expiration. If we could potentially think about this till next council and then vote on it.
That's fine. The only reason we put expirations is because if we get to a point where we're close to changing our hourly rates,
Yeah.
it'll be different. And typically what that happens is, that's if it's a firm quote. Yours is hourly anyway, so whatever the hourly rates are in effect is what it's gonna be.
Okay,
So it really,
so essentially we could still continue to discuss this.
sure.
We're comfortable with Moten Associates, we just wanna make sure that we don't miss a
Make sure the
deadline.
development's moving forward.
Yeah,
Right.
Right. Yeah, no, that's perfectly understandable.
perfect. You guys have any questions?
Not right offhand.
So basically, Jan, you think the best method forward, best path forward is just reaching a consensus from council to do business with Moten Associates for this project as more develops?
Well, I don't know if you
Or do we even need that?
need that. I mean, if you were gonna have sign a contract with them, then
ancillary services were probably still suffice as it is. Gotcha.
Do we still need to complete that contract that was in our packet?
We have an authorization sheet that goes with the back of that. I didn't copy it for everybody because I figured whoever fills it.
Okay.
At some point, whenever you're saying, hey, yes, we want to move forward, that just gives us information in our billing system. That way we've got the right stuff to send it to. But yeah, so at some point, when you decide, hey, we want to do something, then yeah, we'd request that be filled out.
You have that copy?
She doesn't, unless Monty gives it to you. And your card, you can give her your email?
Yes.
And then, is it?
That's our general company one.
Everybody's on the same page.
Any other question? If not, Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You don't have to stick around, it may be another 45 minutes.
Unfortunately, it's not gonna get more exciting than what I already have.
Pretty good so far.
All right, so code enforcement update, I had that down as, well, unfortunately Ryan's not here. Did you guys have anything? We don't really have anything we can speak to that right now without having him here. And same thing with house condemnations. He said we're waiting on the public hearing date. Let me check the last message. That's what we should be waiting on. Yeah, they've been served complaint and summons, ready for public hearing schedule. So that's what we're waiting on with regard to the condemnations. Now, what I don't have in that, though, is the number of them that we're sitting at. I know all 16 were originally submitted. I believe it was 16. Was it 16 or 18?
I think it's 18,
18.
and I believe Kobe's last conversation, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I believe that they've not heard back from more than 2 or 3 of the parties. So for several of them, it may be a pretty short open and shut case.
Good. Well then, flying through this then, that means it takes us down to community cleanup days. We're gonna hopefully get some potential dates to throw out there.
I've got a couple suggestions and
Shoot.
off the cuff, give us a starting point. And I'm scrolling through my calendar here to make it make sense. The weekend before Memorial Day, the weekend before 4th of July, and the weekend before Labor Day.
Oh, those are, yes.
So that would be May.
You're out of town.
The May May 22nd would be the first one. June 26th,
May 22nd
then June 26th,
and June 26th.
and then I'm getting there. Now I gotta figure out when Labor Day is. I don't know what you guys did before technology and internet was right at your fingertips.
You said before Labor Day, so it'd be September 4th?
Well, September 6th is Labor Day, so it would be
Or August 28th?
August 28th.
Yeah, so it's the weekend before is what you're saying, yeah.
That way the town looks good if any visitors are coming to town.
I agree.
And if we could arrange getting dumpsters, more dumpsters at the south side of town, and
It has been brought up too by Kobe that a possible idea for the dumpsters, because what Gavin deals with a lot, and I hate this mask, so I don't feel like anybody understands what I'm saying, is that people physically can't get it to the south side.
Yeah.
So Kobe has suggested that maybe we look at placing some dumpsters in the neighborhoods, kind of at centrally located places around town where people can literally walk there and
I'll be
For
honest.
those days.
My truck and trailer, I'm planning on having my truck and trailer hooked up and literally driving the streets with a couple people to lift it on, put it in the dumpsters. And if we could potentially arrange the work weeks, I wish we would ask Rob or Brad to if we've got plenty of time anyways. Could we potentially get some of the city guys to either volunteer, get overtime, or shift some hours those weeks so that they're in town with, whether it's the dump truck or the not the Bobcat, but something that could lift heavy objects. loader.
We can detail all that stuff out, that's not gonna be an issue.
Cool. And then that way, I mean, even if we could get people around town to help a neighbor, I don't even care. Like, if we can rally as many people around to help clean up our town a little bit, it's gonna help in the long term.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think those are three good options, May 22nd, June 26th, and August 28th.
Yeah.
Can I have
Yes.
a comment though? In years past, we'd have the, the garage sales, are they gonna do that?
I am right now working with our downtown merchants and kind of coordinating that. We will be hosting the garage sale. To the best of my knowledge, it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Right, and so before, in previous years, we'd do it after that, only because people would have a lot of stuff, and then after they didn't sell it, they want to get rid of it. And that's just, when we did it before, we did it the weekend after that. But I mean, I know why you want to do it the weekend before,
Yeah.
so I don't care, I'm just.
Weekend before and still have dumpsters the weekend after?
Yeah.
That's the way I would do it. I would probably look at your cleanup days being identified, maybe putting dumpsters north, south, east, and west, and some at the utilities building. And then for the next week after the garage sale or after Memorial Day, just have a couple extra dumpsters sitting at the utilities building.
I don't know if this is allowed, but I would even ask Adam Didier to see if we could get a dumpster or two out there for people that live in the apartments to potentially put it, or save a lot, or,
I think any of those places are plausible. I think that's not a bad idea.
and then we're covered both ends of town.
Yeah, probably the parking lot, because he gets pretty busy that time of year. Probably the
Yeah,
parking
sure.
lot right in front of where Dollar General used to be. That open, because there's an
Yes.
open space there in that
Yes.
strip mall. We put one right there probably.
I mean, worst case, we could put it across the street and talk to Mr. Rismiller, Dan Rismiller, cause that's just a vacant lot.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you could potentially
Any
pull
one,
through.
yeah.
there's some asphalt there.
And thanks to
There
our
you
new
go.
sidewalk, it's actually walkable.
It is walkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we in agreement those three dates?
If that,
May 22nd, June 26th, August 28th? Got consensus? Okay.
Yep.
Good deal. That's what we'll roll with. Now, I come to the point where I owe a tremendous apology to Miss Alexandria. I totally skipped over the school update, and I am so sorry. So Alexandria, is there anything you would like to share from the school's perspective or?
Well, I actually didn't. At least I don't think, because nothing's really too tremendous has really happened. Besides, our tower is actually finally up, the Wi-Fi tower, so
Yes.
that was a
That's
great big deal for all of us, so.
And that is awesome, because that
Yeah.
brought in a lot of political dignitaries I know from Indianapolis.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The
there
governor's
a lot of
office
people
was
that came
represented
in,
here.
yep,
and-
There was,
When-
I don't-
when do you guys get updates on COVID? Do they email it out weekly? Do they announce it?
I think we just had one not too long ago, but our stats are really low right now, so.
Awesome.
Right now, we're actually all back together finally, so.
First
And your stats are still low.
Yeah,
So
we're
that's
doing,
really
yeah,
saying
we're
something.
doing really
I
well
believe
right
Aaron
now, so.
indicated there was 2
That's
and
what
they
I
were
thought.
contact
I
traced.
wasn't sure if
They
it-
Yeah.
weren't cases, they were just contact traced.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep, but we're doing very well, so.
Super. Well, thank you for sharing. That's wonderful. And my apologies again.
That's okay.
Good grief, you're sitting right across from me. I was like, gee. Do we have any visitors wishing
Pause,
to?
1 second. Can you potentially advertise at the school these dates, May 22nd, June 26th, and
Yeah,
August 28th?
absolutely. I can
Yeah,
even
that'd
see if, like, anybody's interested as well.
National
to
Honor
help us.
Society, any program
Yeah.
you're a part of,
Yeah.
if we need to sign something stating somebody did community service those days,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think all of us up here would happily sign
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I can.
And March
definitely do that.
20th too, for that matter, of Vision Corner.
Okay,
So
I'll
that'd
write
be
the
great.
dates down.
That'd be great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good idea. Great idea.
You know, the date previous to Labor Day or Memorial Day may work out well because a lot of people, as they're prepping for yard sales, garage sales, may
That's true.
come up with a lot of trash
That's true.
in the prep of that. You
That's
know,
true.
Not everything they're dragging out they're gonna sell, they're gonna be, yeah, this is trash. So
That's
it's
a good
actually
point.
a good opportunity for time and may help people
Get ready in
clean up
advance.
as they're getting prepared.
That's a great idea. That's a
Steve,
good
can you
point.
get that on the sign?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll have it posted up front, or here at the corner too,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
awesome. Do you have any visitors wishing to address the council at this moment? If you would, please stand, state your name, address.
My name is Jim Nunez Jr. from Winchester, Indiana. I also am a Saratoga Lions Club member. We like to invite the community to our Saratoga Lions Club pork chop curbside dinner this coming Saturday. So when you're fighting for fires, you come out there and reward yourself for surviving the fire training. I'll be fighting fires too and rolling with the fireballs, I guess they're called. So it'll be this Saturday from 4 to 7:30 there in Saratoga. Great pork chops. And we also have Wix pies there going to be available. And that's on the Saratoga side. I also represent fireworks. Just kind of reminder, I know it's way ahead, but you got to plan this because there at across the pond, there's a lot of pyros going to be not being shipped because of all kinds of other stuff and taxes and all kinds of stuff that's happening. So we're getting our pyro already ordered, and I know that our WCCPC, we helped shoot for Union City, Winchester, hopefully Parker City would be this year, and the drive-in. We usually try to do that. And we always do the July the 4th. I don't know when Union City.
We've already scheduled with Sky Magic, and it's July 3rd.
Oh, okay.
And he said we'd have no problem getting our fireworks.
Good, good.
So
I haven't talked to him, so it sounds like the 3rd, the 4th, hopefully the other ones will do just in, but that, you gotta plan ahead. Money raising and stuff like that. So hopefully no barn burning, nothing like that. So just come here and visit. I like to do this to all even though I'm from the District 3 of Winchester Council, I like to just visit all the other cities and just see how things happen and learn. I've been doing this for several years, so it's interesting how things are happening and how growth has happened, and it does take everybody. It doesn't, just because you get elected it takes everybody.
Amen.
So
big time.
And I like to thank you guys. You guys are always. I always listen to Bill on the radio station and talk about Union City, and then we have a couple places in Winchester, and then talk about Union City, and then little places of Winchester. So you're always notified. So I thought I'd better come over here and see what's happening. The growth of Randolph County, because it takes us all. It takes us all.
It's kind of a good reminder. I said I wanted to come to a Winchester meeting, and I'll shoot you a message.
Yes, and another suggestion that Nathan and I worked on, it's been about a year and a half, is that we worked that the Chamber of Commerce, we asked back then at that regime that on the second city meeting that we asked if we can have a Chamber of Commerce representative. That would be an update every month in Saratoga, Ridgeville, Union City, and Winchester. And all the mayors and the presidents agreed to a couple years ago. So hopefully you guys will be attended, that there would be a seat because you have a representative on the Chamber of Commerce. And they would report to you the second city meeting on what's happening. Like right now, April 17th, there's going to be an expo that anybody that has a business or anything like that, and it's one of the big ones that they're going to be coming out with. But you need to be updated on what's going on between now and then, what the chamber's all about, because we want to make a difference.
Right.
And Nate and I come up with that idea a long time ago, that every month you have a seat somewhere for the Chamber of Commerce. Because I think that's one of the things that kind of didn't fall together back then when they tried to do this as a Randolph County one.
Right.
So that's something that Nate and I was very pushing for, and we got a response back then that there would be a seat for the representative. I think you have 2 representatives for Union City, I'm not too
I
sure.
think we've got one right there.
So, hopefully that'll be and there'll be, it'd be, at that second meeting, they're always gonna be on the agenda, Chamber of Commerce.
Super.
Thanks for that.
That's all I have.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Any other visitors wishing to address the council? If not, our date of our next meeting will be March 22nd, and that will be at 6 p.m. The date of the next Board of Public Works meeting will be March 22nd also at 1 p.m. I would hereby entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
We have first, we have second.
Aye, second?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Well, shoot.
Can I ask you what that other date was for
Yeah.
the?
May
Okay,
22nd,
yes, I have that one.
June 26th.
June